to the League of Extraordinary Atheists for Humanism, where we attempt to apply logic and reason to religion and politics. I'm here with my wonderful, beautiful co-host, Christy Santiago.
Hi guys, happy Friday. And I know last week I got cut off during Black Panther, so I'm going to pick up there because you can't just stop. I don't know. There's some really good stuff and there's still so much for me to learn. So I have that for you tonight. And then you guys seen our thumbnail. So we got dumbass and dumbass 2 to talk about. I'm sorry, that wasn't politically correct. We have the president and a dumbass that we need to talk about.
Yeah.
Look, you can be humanist and have a sense of humor. If that hurt your feelings, I'm sorry.
These two
but
are
I'm not sorry.
on par to like win the Dumbass of the Year award, though.
Yes. Who is now a war criminal? Because the Democrats were all up in arms. Trump didn't ask for congressional approval before missiles and what just happened. So there's a lot of news going on, but I'm going to focus on some history.
We bombed another country,
right.
Before we got relief.
Right, of
course. This country.
Priorities, Mac.
Yeah.
We need to be able to pay for that relief.
Right.
War is our economy. I'm smiling because I will cry if I don't.
Yep.
So,
it's funny,
you guys,
it's not.
you guys, we live in an empire. There's no such thing as a moral empire. And the more history I learn, I feel there's just such rich history. Humans are so complicated and beautiful and scary. And learning about the Black Panther Party. Okay, ask yourself this. If you needed to organize your town to feed every child before school, and you needed to do it real quick, do you know where to even fucking start? I'm 44. These kids were 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20 years old doing this. Yes, they were a threat to Hoover. They were a threat because they had to step up. Now, if you don't know, founded in 1966 in Oakland, California, the Black Panther Party. That's basic history. you guys can look all that up yourself. I did want to mention a few things that you might not know. I will put many links tonight. I sent one to our wonderful producer, Nacho Witness, that he could share, and it's about women. And I want to touch on that first because the government took out most of the men, prison or death. And we got Elaine Brown. And I want you guys to know that Elaine Brown is a bad bitch, okay? She indirectly, Elaine Brown was the chairwoman of the Black Panther Party. Did anybody know that? I wasn't taught that in school, but she was the chairwoman from 1974 to 1977. Kathleen Cleaver, look that name up because Kathleen Cleaver helped to lead the effort to release party member and founder Huey P. Newton. I'm so hard for me to say, during his imprisonment, and the first woman to be appointed to the party's central committee. These women had to take over. Guess how old they were? The same age. They were kids. And then also, she now teaches at Yale University and is possibly one of the most badass professors I've ever heard talk, okay? She's an Ivy League professor. These kids changed the world because there's this thing called the Rainbow Coalition, and I want you to look that up because when the Rainbow Coalition became a thing is when everyone had to either die or propaganda had to shut them down because that was the white people, the black people, the indigenous people, our Asian brothers and sisters, all of us humans together going, no, we agree with the Black Panther Party's way. We believe that people, when they don't have shoes, should get a pair of shoes. Like, it's just basic things, okay? Another one, Angela Davis. Probably most of you have heard of Angela Davis. She's got a lot more attention. Angela Davis lectures as a professor at institutes, including the University of California, Santa Cruz, where she still resides. These women are just my new heroes, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. We're having a shorter show tonight, and I just didn't want to not be able to share how wrong we are taught. You know, we're that picture that we used last week, one of my favorite pictures of the Black Panthers standing on the Capitol steps. Badass. Not one goddamn woman in it. And they did most of the work because the men got put away. So I also want to add Black Panther Party, these children, because they were kids. They're grown and intelligent and brilliant kids, but kids and soldiers nonetheless. They petitioned and got a stop sign put in. That was one of the first things the Black Panther Party did because children were getting killed in this one area. Number two, what they do not teach you, and there's a new documentary that just came out, Judas, and there's a lot of propaganda in it, but it does try to humanize the Black Panthers. It aggravates the shit out of me because I know when I'm watching something and it's just for cinema. It's not what happened. And stop it. Okay. Cops were killing and beating their friends and family. Everybody in the area decided, well, we're going to arm ourselves and protect ourselves from the cops. And there's the Second Amendment. So that's when the cops started to freak out, I'm sure. But that just makes me so happy. That's the right use of the Second Amendment. That's why the Second Amendment. For me, everything that I learned about the brutal way they were, beaten daily sometimes, the same person, just because they could. And you see your dad get beat, you see your grandpa get beat, and you're 17, 18 years old, and there's people talking about, we're going to protect ourselves. I'm joining in that too. I get it. So assassinations from J. Edgar Hoover. He might as well be a Hoover. He's a dingling. Oh my gosh, this president, he's a murderer. I don't know how, there's no other way to say it. He's a murderer. So many assassinations ordered by him. Don't take my word for it. Look up, we have information in our fingertips. Look up all the assassinations that were ordered by Hoover. And I'm sure those are the ones that were leaked or through the Secrecy Act that had to be released. Plus, things are released after so many years anyway. So I'm pretty sure that we've got the majority of those. I still am not dumb enough to believe that all of them would ever be available to us. If you're interested in the Black Panther Party and SNCC and the Freedom Riders and that whole era, I want you to know this. The same questions we're asking ourselves, like, is any of this worth it? Is it going to make a change? That's what they were asking themselves. It takes decades, and we have to fight for them. They built this country. These revolutionary minds, these brilliant people who said, I know it's not what everybody wants to hear or what everybody's told to do, but I think it's wrong, knowing they could be killed and they still did it. They laid down that groundwork for us. The work, that hard work is done. So if we don't do what we need to do, and it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be out on your feet if you can't. It could be where you do research and help people understand where we get things. It could be informing yourself. It could be letting somebody who's misinformed, don't tell them they're wrong, but ask them, how do they know that? Because if they are right, you would want to know and be right too. That way, maybe they'll look it up. We need to talk to each other differently and continue this work of a rainbow coalition. I am 100% for a rainbow coalition 2021. I'm just ready for everyone to love each other enough. I, I have a screenshot because, and I told, if you guys, okay, first of all, our chat knows Atheists, and if you don't, what's wrong with you? Okay, follow him on Twitter. First of all, I adore this man and will have a huge spot in my heart for him and his wife Susan for always. They just make my life better when they just conversations. They're beautiful people. This is a quote. He just sends me quotes because he knows that I would be like, word. And this is what I'm going to end with. If there were in the world today any large number of people who desired their own happiness more than they desired the unhappiness of others, we could have a paradise in a few years. Bertrand Russell. It's so simple. It's so simple. And that is the tiniest bit I could share of the Black Panthers Party. I really do suggest getting out there, and if you have a library near you, just start reading. We have YouTube. I mean, come on, just start reading because it will blow your mind. These young soldiers, they're my heroes right now. So, Mac, take it away.
So I just put Activist's URL for his Twitter in the chat. So you can do what Christy said and go follow that dude because Activist really is awesome.
Yes.
He's a really great human being.
And I'm going to be posting the links to some reading material and while you're talking. So, but that's
okay. Fair enough.
Go for it.
All right. So next topic then. Pull up my notes. So as far as I know, so I want to get this part out of the way right away. Like, she is not, like, she hasn't gotten the position, right? It's all on hold, correct? Okay.
Well, it's passed through one house.
Yeah.
I think I've been in the 60s all week.
Yeah. Well, even CNN is like they have headlines like "Why is Neera not giving up?" Which is I don't know if it's a pro or con thing on her, but it doesn't matter. Anyways, here it goes. Neera Tanden, I think we mentioned this a couple weeks ago. She has been nominated by the Biden administration to take over the Office of Management and Budget. So she would be the OMB director, the Office of Management and Budget. So she would deal with people who don't decorum right in the administration, we'll say. She would manage people, right? She would also be in charge of the budget. Now, if I'm correct, I also wanted to check with you, Christy, how much you know. This is for the executive branch, right? Like she would be in and Biden's administration for like for the management and for budget. It doesn't have anything to do with Congress and legislation, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she'd be involved.
So it does. Okay. I'm honestly asking because that's something I didn't have time to check into, and I should have, but I didn't. So I wanted to check with you and see what you know on it. And like, I know if I don't already understand it, there's I would assume there's more people who don't. But anyways, while you're checking on that, it is on hold right now. Like, it's looking like they don't have enough votes in the Senate to um, pass her getting this position to confirm her. Sorry, words. Joe Manchin is voting no, which is pretty great. So
Yeah.
we can give him some tentative credit there. And Bernie Sanders has not publicly said whether he would vote yay or nay to confirm her. And he should vote no. Absolutely should vote no. This is something we should totally stick to him if he votes yes. Neera Tanden is really some of the worst of the worst. And I've pulled up a few things here to give you guys examples of why she's the worst. So I'm just going to go through a small list of examples of why, and then talk to Christy about a few more of them and expand on a few of them that I'm going to mention. First thing, People for Bernie tweeted out who is Neera Tanden, and they said President-elect Joe Biden has nominated Neera Tanden to be the head of the Office Management and Budget, the OMB. Tanden, CEO of Center of American Progress, CAP, a neoliberal think tank, which is exactly what it is a neoliberal think tank, has been criticized in the past for her leadership. We'll get to why. In 2018, colleagues of Tanden said she was impossible to trust after she named a victim of sexual harassment in a company meeting. Just straight up, just name dropped her, which was pretty shitty. I feel like that's not something you want in a manager, and I feel like that was an important one to name right off the bat. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Anyways, Tanden once said in an email concerning Libya, we have a deficit. They have a lot of oil.
Right.
Tanden suggested taking Libya's oil as payment for helping them overthrow Gaddafi. This is her policy. If you're humanist at all, I would assume you are anti-war. If you are left, you probably should be.
Can I throw a fact about that time right there? Gaddafi, I am not an apologist. This is just a fact. Was trying and getting to get off of the petrodollar and go on the gold standard. At the same time she said this. And then what happened to him? Oh yeah, sword up the ass. Remember? Come on, guys. Right.
Yeah, he was sodomized to death.
On video. And people in this country are proud of that. I don't care what he did. That's
Neera Tanden's idol laughed at that fact.
I know.
We came, we saw, he died.
I remember. I almost threw up.
Yeah, it's a really sick clip. And Reading some
Mm,
of her emails to Hillary Clinton today.
mm, goody.
Oh, they're just like the way that she holds herself and the words in those emails is just like,
Entitlement.
and not just that, but like how she like you can see her bowing as she like it's so
Oh,
weird. It's like
yeah,
idol
her
worship as
yeah, her
she
head's up her ass.
yeah, it's so
The whole head.
it's eerie. It's really eerie when you read the emails between
Yeah,
her
I'm sure.
and Hillary. The other thing is Hillary has or I'm sorry, not Hillary, but also Hillary. uh, Tanden has repeatedly argued for the need to eliminate Social Security
Yep.
and is against Medicare for all. Okay, so why is this all pissing me off? And
Ha
Christy,
ha ha
um,
ha.
look, like obviously a couple leftist socialists here. We we don't go for those things. We're progressive. And that's why we're mad because she is the CEO of the Center for American Progress. She is
Right.
held up as a progressive champion. And she is super duper not. She's dedicated a couple years
No,
of her life
she's
into
she's part
trying to
of
forward.
the regime change, the spreading democracy missiles and freedom rockets. That's the group she's like. She would love to regime change the shit out of Venezuela,
She
Cuba,
would.
name a place. Yeah. No, she's not a good person.
No, she really is an awful human being. And CNN, MSNBC, like they're defending her right now because some of the senators are picking on her because she had some mean tweets. Um, and I'm like, no. I mean, yeah, that is what they're pointing out, but that's not why we don't like her.
Right.
Like, like
No, it's her
we both
policy.
kind of thought it was a little funny when Donald Trump like was like stupidly tweeting all the time, and Neera Tanden was online more than him. Like, if you want to talk about stupid tweeters,
Yeah.
I mean, she's up there, but that's not why we don't like her.
No, it's
It's
not.
it has much more than that to
And
do.
I'm sure she treats her loved ones wonderful. I'm sure she's fantastic to her friends. Um, like Max said, her head is so far up, you know, others' arses. So I'm sure she's wonderful to some people, but oh, she's just
So I wanted to read this. I forgot I
go
pulled
for
it up. Uh, I can never say the first name right. Faz, just Faz, Shakir. Um, this is an email to Neera Tanden and a few other people. I don't think it's fair that we create our own domestic problems and then ask other nations to pay for it. You see the adverse incentive problem here, right? If we can make money off of incursion, we'll do it. That's a serious policy, messaging, and moral problem for our foreign policy, I think. Neera's response, and I'm not skipping anything, this is exactly what she gets to in this email. We have a giant deficit, period. They have a lot of oil, period. Most Americans would choose not to engage in the world because of that deficit. If we want to continue to engage in the world, gestures like having oil-rich countries partially pay us back doesn't seem crazy to me. Do we prefer cuts to Head Start or WIC or Medicaid? Because we live in 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 deficit politics, and that's what is happening and will be happening even more. So her argument, she is putting forth two arguments right now. One is that we need to cut the deficit.
She's speaking out of both sides of her face, is what she's
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah. And the other is we can totally pay down the deficit if we steal resources from other countries.
Right.
That's it. I mean, it is that black and white. There is absolutely no gray area in there. And I am telling you, if anyone tells you there is a gray area in there, that's a bunch of brown bullshit. That's
a big old fat cow patty.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. This they have a giant deficit. Or we have a giant deficit. They have a lot of oil.
I mean,
there's no beating around the bush.
there
She's a disgusting human being. Anyone who has that.
Look up her opinions on Snowden and Assange.
Look up what?
Her opinions on Snowden, Assange, and Winter.
I can only imagine that they are
Right.
abhorrent.
Right. I don't want her with any power.
No, she's the worst of the worst. Not only this, the Center of American Progress, for those of you who do not know, which I'm sure everyone here probably does know, it was made not just as a think tank. They don't do a lot of thinking. It's a pact, right? It's not a corporate pact. It's a campaign pact, right? This was made so they could get more donations, so they could support the Clinton campaign. So then they would take money from the United Emirates. I forget the United Emirates, Christy? United Arab Emirates.
But it's Emirates. Yeah.
Yeah.
UAE.
Yeah, the UAE. The Israel, Netanyahu, and Saudi Arabia, along with a whole bunch of different corporations.
Of course.
So, and what you would get in return for donating is you would get to sit in the room with people at the top of this think tank.
Yeah.
And people who have direct relationships with Hillary Clinton. So you can tell us what your corporation. Yeah.
It's
pay to play, pay to win.
United Corporations of America.
Yeah. If you donate past this certain dollar amount, then you get to sit in on these meetings, give your opinion, tell us what your company or how your company could do better, and tell us your policy proposals. Also, I told you the United Arab Emirates, Israel, and Saudi Arabia could come sit down, these foreign powers could, and talk with the shadow government of the Clinton administration. So when she got elected, she could turn around and be like, hey, Neera, you have an administration for me. Yeah. And you have a ton of policy ideas that people have paid you to collect for me. Not a progressive.
No. If you align yourself with the governments of any of those countries, you're not understanding. They are despots, right-wing authoritarians. They are murderers. They're war criminals. No. Let's not align ourselves with any of those countries. Let's not, the people of those countries, yes. Those governments, no. Neera, no. No.
Neardo.
Near.
It's there's a hashtag going, hashtag reject Neera.
Yeah.
Should add to it.
Good.
The something I wanted to share, if I can find it again real quick. I apologize for not having it up already. Back it up. Want to find Hillary Rosen. Attention at Joe Manchin. Women are starting to take this personally. Yes on Kavanaugh and Sessions, and no on Neera Tanden. They were both much more divisive. Anti-woman double standard.
How
This
about
is
no
what
to
Hillary
all?
Clinton's doing. Not surprising.
Jeez.
Why this is upsetting is because people follow Neera. People follow
No,
Hillary.
a lot.
There is a hashtag Neera Tanden, or like confirmed Tanden. A lot of that going on. And they are the argument is she's a woman. This is why Joe Manchin's speaking up, because Southern Sister Resistor says, I'm more angered at a weak man who is offended by hard-hitting tweets than I am by the strong, badass woman who wrote them.
Oh.
She
is strong. She is strong.
She is
but
strong.
she's wrong
strong
and strong.
Yeah. She, after Faz Shakir asked a foreign policy question to Hillary Clinton that Neera Tanden didn't like, Neera Tanden, after the interview, walked around the table, went up and punched him in the chest for it. That's not strong woman. That's bitch material.
That's
just psycho bitch material. Huh?
Yeah, that's a little psychotic.
It is a little like, yeah.
That's and
no, remember,
and she's very narcissistic as well.
Yeah, remember, like, anyone who wants to tell me that she's like a face of like female empowerment, fuck you. Do your research. Remember, she name dropped someone who was a victim of sexual harassment in one of her meetings.
You want to know about women empowerment? Rewind this podcast to the beginning and start there.
Yeah, just start over.
Yeah, just start over.
Yeah. Allegedly, she is a psychotic bitch. And and also I should say, she said she pushed him. Someone who does martial arts, if you push someone with your fist, it's still a punch.
How do you know this, Mac? How do you know this, Mac? Tell everybody that you're a ninja.
Because I'm a ninja.
Okay. See, I made him say it. But he actually is a ninja.
So, but yeah, this has been aggravating this past week, listening to any of this stuff and how it develops. I'm glad she hasn't been confirmed. I hope it stays that way. It's really frustrating to see the Alexandra Rojas. Where's that link? Yeah, Alexandra Rojas. She is the executive director of the Justice Democrats, and she also founded Brand New Congress. She went on CNN and defended Neera Tanden and said something about how all the Democrats need to come together and help the Biden administration get this picked through for people who are like ready to do their job or whatever. Like, Neera Tanden is the worst fucking person to do this job. One,
I agree.
She's poor at management. Two, as far as budget goes, she's so goddamn corrupt. She takes so much private interest money. I didn't share all of my things yet, people. Hold on here. Let me grab this one. If I can find
Keep your things to yourself, Mac.
My things. Let me share my things, y'all. One of the examples, the only one I need to share just for example purposes and moving right along. Under her leadership, the Center for American Progress censored a report on Islamophobia to protect its relationship with billionaire Michael Bloomberg because of things that he said when he was the mayor of New York. So they're like, oh, whoa, we can't have that shared. That needs to be shut down because Bloomberg donated to us. We don't want her managing
Do you see that?
or
See
anywhere near money because
right.
she can't be trusted.
She's beholden. She's beholden to whoever pays her. That's sellout.
She's the
So
worst of the
anyway,
worst. And I'm so sick of people like Jake Uger giving bullshit arguments.
Yep.
And just a little bit of pushback from Anna Kasparian. He tries to like tweak his argument a little bit, make it sound a little better, but it's still stupid. It's like, no, we just need to, like, we all need to come together. Like, this is what we have. If she doesn't pass, or like if she doesn't get confirmed, then we'll get someone worse. Just like, look,
that's not
name someone worse.
Right.
Like, we're so sick of this like
being told
better of two evils argument stuff.
Yep.
Right? We had to do this like back during the fucking primary and for the election. Pick the lesser of two evils. And then fucking people like Cenk Uygur said, as soon as we do that, and as soon as he takes that oath, we go in there and we push back. And we make them do what we want because we got them elected. And now he's making arguments for Neera Tanden.
Right.
That's some crazy
what happens
ass
when
bullshit.
You stop learning? I mean, honestly, he really did. He was ahead of the game for a long time, for many years. I mean, I'm talking like 20 years ago. He was like, listen, I'm not going to say something that's not the truth because you're telling me they fund the show. Like, that's not. And he was right then. That's right now. And he's, you know, they did take money. If you guys want me to tell you that story, it'll be on another show. It really does break my heart. Anna Kasparian does Jacobin every Saturday, and she has grown. If you watch Jacobin and then you watch Young Turks, you're like, okay, yeah, she's way farther left than she's allowed to be probably on Young Turks because of the money they took. But
every
can't
time
talk about that now.
Yeah. Every time I watch it now, which is not very often, I've been like upset of like.
John Idarola is my favorite, and he has his own show. So I watched The Damage Report, and he's my favorite. He was I will follow him until he does some shit that makes me not follow him.
Yeah. I like Jake because he's a powerhouse, but when he's wrong, he just like
doubles down.
He swings for those fences. He's real.
Yeah, he does.
Anna, she gets real condescending for me. Like it's just annoying. She's right a lot, and I like when she pushes back on Cenk. Like it's great. I'm really proud of when she does that, and I always respect her for it. But she just has such a condescending tone that it's hard to watch. And when I'm just sick of Cenk's bullshit, and she sounds.
You want to hear something though?
But that's this right now.
That's Stacy's favorite part about Anna.
Yeah.
So there's something for everyone. I mean, they're wrong a lot as far as like I'm just like I can't, and I do watch. I have to check in on. I have to check in on Fox. I have to check in on AON, all American. I have to check in on that. I have signed up to the NRA so I can get their emails. Do you guys understand the torture I put myself through?
But that's because you're a well-informed human being who wants to continue to be well-informed. Like,
Yeah.
I heard stuff about the Texas blackouts.
Yes.
And I heard news from the right first. I'm like, okay, well, this makes some sense. And I heard some from the left. I'm like, all right, this is why you need to listen to both. Like
You need
it
to
is
listen
really
as
easy.
much as you can. Yeah.
It's so easy to listen to the news and have that be your opinion.
Yeah.
You need to listen to multiple sources. Like, I listen to multiple sources on the left often, and I catch up on the right every now and then. And like, I need to listen to the right more often, because sometimes I agree with little points that they're saying.
And I like to have empathy. I think it shows me, don't get me wrong. I never would listen to, I do get those emails and I do take in the right, but I would never give Rush Limbaugh a view from me. That is not something I would do. So, however, there are people that do. That's who I have empathy for. Not people who spew the hate, but the people who are hurting so bad that someone is giving them an enemy that they can at least, those are the Americans that I want to at least in my lifetime see them be able to media literacy, be able to understand and to fact check and to fact check their fact check. I would have never known that some of the people, Democracy Now! Is getting shit wrong. Don't want to hear you talking about bullet points from like the war generals. I don't care. I can go to the government site and read that. Like, I just make sure that you check. Is a lot of work. I know.
Yeah.
But we live in a democracy, and that is a privilege. And a privilege takes a little bit of work, just a little bit.
Yeah. The two things, and I already forgot one of them. One is about a year ago when we had a few mass shootings in America. The one in, what was it, Dallas, and then within like 16 hours, Dayton, Ohio.
Right.
When the shooter in Texas like shot up that Walmart, I was listening to the news and the press briefings that whole next day, like listening to information for both shootings, like on the hour stuff. And I listened not just to the briefings, but to the updates, like on the news networks. So I realized when watching Fox News, when they added information, just like this guy down in Texas was Mexican. He has a criminal record. Like they added a few things, and I'm just like, huh? No, I didn't.
Right.
Because I didn't hear that. If I didn't hear it, you didn't hear it. You can listen to the news as it happens. Like, they hadn't released anything, and I was right. They were wrong. It was a white dude who didn't have a criminal record, and he had a manifesto. People.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, people make shit up to fit their narratives, and it's just like the Iowa caucus. Pete says he wins before he won.
He said caucus.
Then it turned out Bernie won, but that doesn't matter because everyone already heard that Pete won.
Right.
So Bernie lost a lot of support. Like, a lie can really change the narrative right off the bat, because it's really hard to take back that lie when everyone's paying attention until they have an answer. And then by the time you hear, oh, that was the wrong answer, people have switched their TVs off already.
Right.
They already got the news for the day. I learned that you need to watch multiple sources. You need to try to watch sources. And the second thing I was going to say, this is why philosophy is important. Like, just like the study of fucking thought, like trying to build a worldview, trying to see like what comports with reality and what doesn't. You need to have like a decent philosophy, a decent like understanding of just how the world works and how it should work, not just how it works, because it works kind of shitty, at least like economically and like politically in most countries. You need to think of how it should work. You need to have your own set of principles, philosophies, policies, and you need to see what comports with them and what doesn't. Otherwise, you're just shooting in the, you're just listening to news and like parroting it. Like, nothing's gonna throw up a red flag if you just, the world is what it is and it is what it is. And hey, I heard it is this.
Right.
There does need to be a narrative. That's why we have so much propaganda. A lot of people have different narratives, but
Yes.
you can't have
Why? What is it? 4 companies own all the information that most of America gets. So independent journalists are very important.
Yeah.
Because you're being fed your opinion.
By you said 4 corporations?
4, it's 4 or 5. I think it's 4 now that Disney was like swallowed up a bunch.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Sinclair, Disney, I don't know what else. Comcast. Yeah, they own all of these outlets, and they get messages from the top like, focus on this.
Don't talk about this. Right.
Yeah, we don't talk about that, and they don't.
No.
Right? They send
No,
out
if you're getting a few hundred million from Raytheon every year, would you ever be critical of Raytheon?
right,
Or
so,
war machines made at Raytheon? Or what those war machines do in countries that have no Raytheon of their own?
so I want to break this down a bit, just in case
Mm-hmm.
anyone doesn't understand this. Raytheon is a weapons manufacturing company. If they donate to someone like CNN, right? Whenever CNN talks about anything that has to do with war, can you trust them if a weapons manufacturer is a large donor to this media company? Can you say that it's always going to be something you can trust? And this isn't just pro-war propaganda.
Right.
If you think you can always trust them on this, well, I don't know if I can trust you.
Right. You should be skeptical and check it out.
That's what corruption is. And no one likes corruption. It sounds like a bad word.
It is.
It is.
Lobbying equals corruption.
It does. And like,
fight me on that.
You need to follow the money, right? Sometimes they say true things anyways.
Yeah.
Right?
You know, I've actually had someone argue back. There are good lobbies that do good things, and they're correct. There are. There are. So anybody who's ever watching this, don't angry tweet. You're right. There are. However, that's not what the majority of them are used for. Yeah. So if we can have lobbies that can't have anything to do with government, all right.
If you hear that Venezuela is an awful socialist country that's going to the shitter, you then need to do your homework and go find a pro-Venezuelan government news source.
Right.
and hear the other side.
Right.
And then keep your shitty opinion or change to a new shitty opinion.
Or
Or a
keep
better one,
learning and
right?
not have an opinion yet. You can say, I don't know enough yet.
Yeah. But
That's so smart.
at least hear the opposition.
Yeah.
At least hear the opposition.
There is that. That's
That's
what we're saying. Be skeptical. So it's 89 weeks, everyone. And then I went and did a crazy thing and
did.
chopped off all my hair off. It
Just before the show?
just before the show.
Just 10
It
inches.
used to, when I would pull my pants up and put my belt on, I would have to pull my hair out of my pants. That's how long it was until today.
Yeah. Last time I saw you, it was like about down to your butt. And
Yeah,
it is.
I like to keep it.
Like once you said, look how short my hair is, I'm like, it's still long because that's about all I ever see of it now. And then I thought about, oh wait, it was
shorter
down
than like I haven't had it shorter than here in a long time.
Yes.
You're welcome for the boob shot, America. We're talking about hair, okay? Hey, listen, they feed babies. I'll leave it at that.
Fair enough. 89 weeks. I can't wait for 100. We're gonna have to like celebrate.
I know. Well, 52 and 52. That would be 2 years.
Oh, true.
It's coming up.
It is.
I know. It's fun. It's been fun sharing that with you guys. And happy Friday. And we started off with heroes and ended with zeros.
Hashtag reject Neera. Thank you all for joining us on another Friday. I'm gonna check something else. Will you say your farewells to our audience?
Yes, I will. We have somebody that is newer to our chat. Joshua, hello. Thanks for coming by. That's awesome. Always good to have new friends. And RB, you crack me up. You're so inappropriate, and I am inappropriate is almost always funny to me for some reason. I don't know why. So keep on with the free speech, buddy. I love it. When I looked down and you told me she's too old. Yes, you're hilarious. And that's forever on here. So you're the one that looks good. I love it. Keep coming back, RB. We have been friends before LEAH even started, from like political podcast in chat. So we go back. And I love when RB shows up. And when you say hi to RB, you have to spell it H-I-G-H. It's the rule. Okay. And then Larry, hello. Yes, you're right. We did it without congressional approval, just like Trump. Just want to put that out there. And then I love you guys, Brant. I know you had to leave. And Theo, I know I'm gonna miss somebody. My dad's in the chat. Just love him. And my Lord and Savior, not your witness, and my brother Carlos. Carlos is listening. If he's not in the chat, he's listening right now. And if he's not, well, then he's grounded. So there's that. No, kidding. He doesn't have to listen to me go on and on. And Mac, I love you too.
Aw, love you too, Christy.
And then I'll let you say it this week.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, thank you for doing that, because I wanted to say one thing before I do say it. Tanzania needs to release Zara Gay and stay humanist, for Godless sake.